Welcome back to Filipino Uncut, where real talk meets real people. Real quick, we need to plug my book that's on Amazon. It's The Erosion of Truth, Freedom of Speech, Disinformation, and the Global Rise of State-Controlled Narratives. Basically, if you watch the news, and especially if you're a news junkie, if you're a news junkie, you may have a hard time with it because it kind of takes away the buzz that someone can get, and it does actually explain a lot of things about partisan media, and it basically shows the players in the partisan media game. We also get into media in Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. Okay, how they control the narrative, the message that goes to the people. Anyway, today's episode is with San Nicolas native Jake Carlos. He lives down the street. He's a vlogger, a handyman, a father, a friend of many, and just a good old fella. So welcome to the show, Jake. You bet. That's right. Well, first off, when we were having this house built here, and my wife we had just moved in, but my wife had to go back to the United States for 3 months. You know, I'm looking for things to do, people to meet, and I remember you guys are down at your house doing karaoke, and just welcomed me, and just some really nice people. And I remember we had a good time. I don't remember, that was about probably last August, September time frame, maybe even October, November. So Jake, tell us, where did you grow up here in the Philippines?
I grew up here in San Nicolas, Ilocos Norte. I study here also in San Nicolas, and then when I go in high school, I study here in Lawag City. The same with college.
And what did you study in college?
Here in Overseas Technical Institute.
And what your subject? Technology?
Electronics technology.
Yeah, and that's good. So if you ever need a gadget fixed, well, actually I remember we bought this big old new karaoke machine. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we're like, man, we can't get it to show up on the TV. But OJ came down and he gave us the lesson on how to do it. So the other day we had a big birthday party. It was Jake's wife's birthday. It was the same day as mine. Mm-hmm. So we just had a double party right here. We both had cakes and a candle to blow out. Tell us, your wife Mona, how did you guys meet?
We meet here in Robinson, Ilocos. We are the same company.
2 for 2.
Yeah.
Our first guest, my nephew Din, they met his wife Hazel. They met at Robinson's Mall at David's Salon.
Oh, David's Salon.
Yeah. So, and were you guys? So you were finished with school and everything when you guys met?
Yeah.
And you have Prince, who's in our living room right now watching TV. He's 5 years old, getting ready to start kindergarten.
Yeah, kindergarten.
Yeah, and he's just a joy of a kid. You know, sweet, fun, loves dinosaurs, and so he will be in kindergarten this year. Is that correct?
The same, yeah. Senior in kindergarten.
Is he going to go down there by Barangay 16?
No, here in Barangay 3.
Okay. All right. See, I knew they had a school down there. I just didn't know what the situation there was, if it was elementary or high school. So when I was at your house, I noticed a long time ago you had pictures in Vietnam. Yeah. You and your wife worked there. How long was you guys in Vietnam for?
We worked for 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
What was it? Do you remember the name of the company?
Homerin, and for my wife she is a teacher before in Saupe.
Okay. I don't know what that is or what do they make? What kind of work do they do?
We make screw.
Oh,
Screw.
Okay, yeah.
And then my wife is teaching the kids like Prince Day.
Ah, okay. Hey, let's go into something real quick. I've got it down here for fun. A little bit about Philippine culture and a little bit about Filipinos. This is called This or That.
Yeah.
First up, rice or noodles?
For me, rice.
Rice, not surprised there.
Yeah.
Adobo or sinigang?
Oh, my favorite, adobo.
Okay. Now tell us, what is sinigang? Is that like a soup, right?
Yeah, soup.
It, is it still good?
Yeah, it's good. But
Okay.
for me, it's adobo.
Adobo, yeah.
Yeah.
I have, I eat a lot of chicken here. I usually go to the market and I'll get one or
Yeah.
two chickens.
Chicken adobo.
And my wife usually asks me, do I want it grilled or adobo? Most of the time I say grilled, because what I do is we'll cook a whole chicken, and then, after we cut it up, we'll
Mhm.
put it in the refrigerator in a container, and then I've got like lunch and dinner. But sometimes I do like the adobo, and I had adobo when we lived in the United States for so long. Okay, fish sauce or bagoong?
For me, bagoong.
Bagoong.
Yeah, bagoong.
Tell us about bagoong.
That's made for Ilocos.
Made in
Yeah,
Ilocos?
made in Ilocos.
Okay. And then also, here we go, we got a few more. Lawag or San Nicolas?
San Nicolas.
All right. Let me tell some of the folks the difference between Lawag and San Nicolas. San Nicolas is the city where we live in.
Yeah.
It has about 50,000 residents, and it's not too congested. It's spread out pretty good. Lawag City is like the Jefferson City of Missouri. It is the capital of the Ilocos Norte region. Now they have about 130,000 people. They have a pretty good size downtown, and it's just bigger, but it can get congested. And I love it here in San Nicolas.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go into a couple things. Traditions in the Philippines. Now, last week with my nephew Din Din, we talked about Halloween. You know how, like, in the United States in Halloween, a lot of kids, they'll dress up in costumes on October 31st,
Yeah.
and then they'll go trick or treating and they'll get some candy. I always had to go buy like candy bars and stuff from the supermarket. Here, I notice a lot of people around that time spend a lot of time at the cemeteries, and they also have a period where they're cleaning the cemeteries.
Yeah.
So that was last week. Now, this we talked about earlier, and you weren't too familiar with this, but I was thinking about this one this week. When we started to build this house, before they dug a single hole, they sacrificed a goat. They ran him all around the yard, right? And then they started working. Then when we started to build the floor, had to pay for another goat, right? Now the goat was he served as food, so everybody, it wasn't like they just killed a goat to waste it. But then I think when we started to build the swimming pool, a goat, the guest house, a goat, yeah. So, and let's see, I may have been here for the swimming pool goat, but I wasn't here when they started to build the guest house. But are you familiar with that? Have you ever seen that before, sacrificing of goats?
That's the first time I hear that sound. But when I was a child, they kill the duck.
The duck?
But only the blood.
Only the blood.
They put it in a corner in the house. And then they put the coins also in the corner.
Well, hey, speaking of duck, here's one. I'll just make it up off the top of my head. Hard-boiled egg or balut?
Oh, balut.
Balut, you like balut?
Yeah, balut.
So I've had balut maybe 3 times altogether, and I thought it was like the Big Mac at McDonald's, a little overrated. We talked about that word, overrated, last night.
Yeah.
The Big Mac, everybody knows about the Big Mac, but is it really as good as, it's okay. I think they put too much of that Thousand Island seasoning sauce on it, and I actually like the quarter pounder with cheese better. But balut is it's a famous delicacy here in the Philippines, if you didn't already know. So
I eat 7 pieces of balut.
7 at one time?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I guess it's got a lot of protein in it.
Yeah.
Did you get any of the
Because
beef?
when I was in Vietnam, I also eat a lot of balut because I'm working at night.
Uh-huh.
That's why I need to
Yeah.
eat a lot.
Yeah, that's a good
But
snack.
it's also the same. I like the taste and also the sauce they put in
Hmm.
Vietnam.
The first time I ate balut, I crack it open. I didn't try to look too much at it in case I
Mm.
saw like a beak or an eyeball or something, which is rare, I guess. But I um, I didn't use any sauce. I wanted to taste it
Ah,
naturally.
yeah.
And the second, and I thought it was okay to be honest. The second time I had balut, I used a little bit of, I think vinegar and salt. I can't remember, but I used a little bit of sauce of some
They put
sort.
black pepper.
Ooh, black
Yeah,
pepper.
and
Yep.
salt.
Mm. Um, so one thing I wanted to mention about in the neighborhood, so we're down here on the corner, and we got a house across the street. And if I go down a little ways, maybe 200 meters, I'm in your guys' neighborhood, right?
Mhm.
Where your guys' houses are all at. And one of the things that I really admire about that area, just a tight knit community. Uh, and they have like birthday parties in the back there where they play basketball. You
Mhm.
know, I've been to those. The celebrations. They even had a 3-on-3 basketball league there, and it reminds me, but yet even bigger and more close knit than like a block party in the United States. So I just really admire like somebody's birthday party, real big deal. Last week, the celebration of the end of the season for the basketball. You know, we had music and fun and games.
Mhm.
You know, do you ever? What's your thoughts about that?
Oh, it's just like my husband. My
Your wife,
no, my sister husband
your
wants,
sister's husband.
yeah, wants to make a 3x3
Uh-huh.
basketball, and then that's the first time that they made this one.
Yeah, that was fun. I remember when he was telling me about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
so
they expect for the season 2 like that.
season two, when's it
Yeah.
start? I want to play actually.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
because I
okay.
do. It's just good for exercise. It's a way to have fun. You know, and I can still get up and move a little bit and play a lot of basketball. So we're gonna wrap it up, but I do want to ask you about how many times in your life have you went to watch the Philippine national pastime sabong? How many cockfighting? The chicken fights. Have you ever even went?
No.
No. I just wonder. I go more for the event than anything else. And when I do bet, it's like the minimum. It's basically $2, 100 or 150 pesos, and I just do it to have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
It's I see people there. They'll bet every single match, and for me, I usually wait till I see one of the trainers that I know
Mhm.
that is really good trainer. And just like yesterday, I bet 3 times, and I won twice and lost once. But I bet 300 peso, which is like $4.50, on the one that I knew was really good. He has a history of just very good at it. So, well, Jake, thank you for being on the show. It wasn't too bad, was it?
No, it's
No,
okay
it's
now.
one of the nicest families.
Yeah.
It says, like Arby.
Yeah, Arby.
You know his father, I guarantee you. If you look around the family, that man's got to be a good man. You can tell because all of the kids are just really good people.
Yeah.
So that says a lot about the folks. Well, hey, you guys have a good day. Please think about liking and subscribing. And we'll see who's next. I think our next time we're going to have a fellow on named Rabanan Gallardo. He's a truck driver from up the road here. He works up by Barangay 1.
Barangay
He's
1.
very funny, hilarious, but he couldn't come yesterday because he had to go down near Manila. Hey, real quick, do you ever go to Manila? When's the last time you spent any time in Manila?
Oh, when I go to here in Ilocos, maybe last year.
I've spent about a week there in the past 3 or 4 months. I like it there for the most part. Some of the areas,
Mm-hmm.
the malls, you know. But anyway, the malls are huge. They got a new mall here, real huge. His wife has a stand there at that mall. So, Anyway, like, subscribe. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.